This is Ticket to the Stars presents where you don't have to reach for the stars, baby. We bring the stars to you. From rising stars to superstars and all the stars around and in between who are making their mark on the entertainment scene here in the Triangle and beyond. Whether out front or behind the scenes, these stars know how to shine. I'm your host, Gloria, and today is November 6th, 2018. That's Election Day, folks. And my heart is beaming. My heart is beaming because whatever your political affiliations, you elected to sit here with me. And I'm so glad you did because today, Ticket to the Stars presents STARguest Vivienne Benesch. Oh yes, the Obie-Award winning actress and producing artistic director of UNC Chapel Hill's professional resident theater company, Playmakers. Oh, and she's dope. She's dope. And a few weeks ago, I got the chance to chat with her. Get this. While I was in the Raleigh studio, she was strolling down the streets of Times Square. This is a fun and insightful interview. She gives us a glimpse of a day in the life of when she's conducting auditions in New York City. So when we get back, find out how she's striving to make Playmakers' doors more porous, and how the director of their upcoming show, She Loves Me, opening November 14th, how the director wanted to do things a little differently.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars, we bring the stars to you. Be inspired.
Two things, determination and discipline.
We think about money. We think about, like, what if my body gives out? What if it doesn't? I think we have to give our dreams an honest shot.
And be entertained, tuning into interviews with the stars of the entertainment world here in the Triangle and beyond.
I'm literally in the middle of Times Square right now.
My dad took us to the local carnival. We were so excited because we didn't get to do normal things, you know? On the way out, we're like, Pops, can we get a souvenir? He said, a souvenir, really? I'll tell y'all. He said, and where's your ticket? Frame that.
Find out what's going on and what's up next.
We've got two upcoming events that we're excited about. The first will be happening in October in partnership with the Wicked Witch.
Get up close and personal with the stars.
This was a real passion project of mine. This was a project that I wrote, produced, directed, and edited.
Let's hear that again, please.
I was diagnosed back in 2012. The only cure is a bone marrow transplant.
And find out what they stand for.
But I want to be very careful because a lot of theaters say, oh, we're relegating our risky work, new work to a second stage. And I'm very, very adamant that that's not what's happening here.
And we want to make sure that it's understood that we respect a person's right to be who they are.
The rest of us are out here doing it because we love it. Mm-hmm. In the same way that a dancer has to dance and a writer has to write. A filmmaker has to make films because without it, they will wither and die.
This season on Ticket to the Stars presents Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.radio.org, a Stargaze broadcast. Now back to TTTSP with this week's exciting star guest.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars presents. I'm your host, Gloria, and friends. Let me tell you, our star guest today is giving us a telescopic view into her galaxy as she is literally, guys, walking down the streets of New York City as we speak. Times Square, to be exact. Oh, yeah, we just got a little sample there in the background. And she's literally letting us walk with her down the streets of Times Square. Look, we'll find out why she's there in just a second, and we only have a little window of time with her, but Vivienne, will you let me begin with just giving them, your listeners, the fans, a brief and abbreviated bio of you?
Absolutely.
Okay, and friends, yes, if you want the full bio, just Google her name. She's an absolute superstar. Vivienne Benesch is in her third season as the producing artistic director and company member of Playmakers Repertory Company, the professional theater in residence at UNC Chapel Hill. She comes to Playmakers after serving for 12 years as the artistic director of the renowned Chautauqua Theater Company and Conservatory. She's a graduate of Brown University and NYU's graduate acting program. An Obie-Award winning actress, has worked on off-Broadway, on Broadway, in film and television at many of the country's most celebrated theaters, and has appeared with Gene Wilder, Al Pacino, Blythe Danner. Look, she's also directed and served in the faculty of some of the nation's foremost acting programs, including the Julliard School, UNC Chapel Hill's Professional Actor Training Program, Brown Trinity Rep MFA program, and at her alma mater, NYU's Graduate Acting Program. Finally, yes, Vivienne, I'm going to keep going. One more thing. She is the 2017 recipient of the Zelda Fichandler Award, given by the Stage Directors and Choreographers Foundation. We give a warm welcome to STARguest Vivienne
Thank you,
Benesch.
Gloria.
Gloria Almighty, I had to cut that bio down I had to take about 2 pages off. You know what I'm saying? Vivienne.
Well, it's. I think that just belies my age. I've been doing this for a while.
Doing it for a while. Oh, we love you. We love you. We love you. Look, you're in New York City right now. I know you're about to come back. I think you said tomorrow, right?
I do.
And you have just conducted, or you're in the process of conducting auditions for one of Playmakers' upcoming productions, She Loves Me. This is very exciting. So tell us, what's a day in the life of Vivienne Benesch when she's on a trip like this?
On a trip like this, there are a lot of things I have to do. We came for casting. We did some casting back in Chapel Hill last week with our amazing resident company and with the incredible local talent in the Triangle. And then we flew up here, sort of having an idea of a couple of roles that we thought we might cast from the New York pool. And so we did 2 days of seeing people up here. Mm-hmm. I also had design meetings for the production of Galileo that I'm going to be directing in the spring.
Yes.
And also met with a lighting designer that is dying to come work at Playmakers. Then ran afterwards to have a drink with a director and see a show. They're really busy because there's so much I want to accomplish when I'm here. Generally, when I come up here, I'm coming for either auditions or design meetings or to see shows. And of course, I try to fit all that in on any given trip that I was here. So we had, for this trip, 2 days of auditions where we saw people pretty much from 10 to 6 o'clock. So its days are filled from beginning to end. Yeah, from beginning to end. And in fact, to the point where like actually getting meals in is hard, which is why as I'm talking to you, I am going to look for a place to order New York hot dog because they're my favorite thing.
Aren't they the best?
And it's like food on the run.
Yes, food on the run. So this isn't a Nathan's hot dog you're getting. You're getting one from a stand?
A stand. I know they say horrible things about them, but they are my favorite.
Those are the best. That's the best. Hey, the fans, I'm sure the fans could just see how they just must feel so close to you. We're going to share that hot dog with you. We're going to share it with you. So I know she loves me.
Do.
And
so she loves me. So yeah, so we were looking for a couple of different parts here in New York, and we saw people all day one day, and then we did callbacks the next day. And sort of now we have a lot of figuring things out to do because at Playmakers it's always a balance between using our company and using folks who are guest artists who come in to visit for a singular show.
Right.
So,
well, She Loves Me is opening in November, right?
It opens I think it opens. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Well, darling, I did my research, okay? I went onto the website and I saw November 14th, actually, to be exact.
Well, there we go. Absolutely.
And
you're on top of it.
I'm on top of it. And I'm doing it for you because, you're walking down the streets of Times Square. So that alone is a feat in itself. Wall Street,
and I have 10 shows in my head all at once.
All at one time. At one time, in one season. And you have to compartmentalize because right now you're there for She Loves Me.
That's right.
The Wall Street Journal calls She Loves Me a pure delight, the most romantic of all Broadway musicals.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you might be looking for actors who can sing, be funny, and maybe stir up some romance.
That is exactly right. It's so interesting because the director, Kirsten Sanderson, is very particular that, and not to disparage musical theater actors, in fact, quite the opposite. It's a huge respect, but there is a style of musical theater acting that she is really not interested in for this show and really more interested in actors who can sing. Because the book of this musical really needs people with a great authenticity but wonderful language skills. There's a lot of wit to it. It's
yeah.
it's like some great Katharine Hepburn, Jimmy Stewart kind of film. You
Ooh.
need that mixed with fabulous voices.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's been really fun. And there's nothing like listening to great music. If you have to listen to the same couple of songs for 8 hours a day, at least they're really good songs.
Really good songs.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I want to highlight the fact that I believe this is your third year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Third year with Playmakers, right? Yes, and you are totally blowing it out of the water, doing a lot of.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, really pushing. I don't know if I should say pushing the envelope, but like really wanting to bring new, rich, an experience of great depth to the stage. I know the 2017-18 season was coined a season on the edge. Right, boasting 2 regional premieres by UNC alumni. So I'm curious, in your third year here, what's this year's theme, and what can Playmaker theme? What can they expect for this year?
It's so funny because we had that discussion, and I was like, okay, we've come to the edge. So where are we jumping off into? Right, like where are we going?
Where do we go now?
And my first season was called a season of about transformation. I really picked things that I thought were about transformation. And then by the time I got to my second season, I said, well, we're just beginning to transform. So, and now we're at the end of season on the edge, and I'm like, but we're just getting to the edge. And I think that's always how it's going to be. So this season is called Shifting Ground, Theater That Moves. And I really wanted to sort of like, I did think about that. Like, if you jump off the edge, what happens to the ground you land on, right? It's new. What has happened? And there is so much going on in our country, in our communities, in our educational institutions, and in the arts that is shifting. There is indeed so much shifting ground. And so this idea of sort of looking and choosing plays that in lots of different ways sort of tries to investigate that idea. And of course, the double or triple entendre of what is theater that moves. What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Moves
What does that
you
look
internally.
like?
It moves externally. It takes us somewhere, but also it moves us to somewhere new. Literally inside. So that was the idea. And I don't necessarily start with that theme. There are so many things that go into choosing a season. So many different constituents to serve, so many different passion projects, so many playwrights that you're dying to give voice to. And you can't you think, oh my God, we do 6 main stage and 3 second stage shows a year. That's so much. But actually, it's not. And it goes so quickly. And,
blink of an eye.
For instance, I'm absolutely committed to equity, in gender equity, in our main stage productions and season wide. And so as soon as you put 2 quote unquote classics, and that word now has many meanings, and many issues around it.
Sure.
But as soon as I can tell you already for 1920, we're looking at a male-written musical and a Shakespeare, because we won't have done a Shakespeare on our main stage in 2 seasons, and suddenly you're like,
wow.
Oh, okay, well, the white men are done, so we've got to really find that, and it's sort of interesting. But I also love that. I love trying to really give voice not only to women, but writers of color, actors of color, designers of color, and it's a process. It is not perfect. I wish we could hit equity next year immediately. For many reasons, that is an ongoing process, but we can be shifting the ground and constantly moving towards it.
You're listening to Ticket to the Stars Presents, where you don't have to reach for the stars, we bring the stars to you. This season on Ticket to the Stars Presents, be inspired and be entertained by tuning into interviews with the stars of the entertainment world here in the Triangle and beyond. Find out what's going on and what's up next. Get up close and personal with the stars and find out what they stand for. Ticket to the Stars presents. That's TTTSP, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.radio.org. A Stargaze broadcast. Now back to TTTSP with this week's exciting star guest.
We're back. Vivienne, man, a woman after my own heart. When you speak about, giving voice to well, you lead beautifully into my next question. You mentioned second stage. I think you did. Do I say PR squared or do I say PR2? PRC squared.
Yep.
PRC squared, right. These are your second stage shows, second stage series, where you want to, if I'm not mistaken, the mission is to actually showcase new voices. Am I correct?
Yep. Yes.
That is
one of the missions there.
That's one of the missions. Oh, well, tell us what other missions there are. Why it's important.
The only reason I say it's one of the missions is because it's definitely, because it's such an intimate space.
It is.
We have a very specific time periods that hello, Times Square. Very, very specific times of year, 3 times that we can use it for only 2 weeks because we share that with UNC's drama department.
Okay.
So they actually, the Keenan Theater Company uses that year round, and we use it for 3 slots. So it is in a lot of ways where I want to take risks with intimate and sort of visceral productions.
Yeah.
That might not suit our large
subscriber base. Yes.
But I want to be very careful. It's interesting because a lot of theaters say, we're relegating our risky work or our new work to a second stage. And I'm very, very adamant that that's not what's happening here.
Happening. Okay.
I want us to be taking as many risks on the main stage as we are on our quote-unquote second stage. It's just that literally the form is different. And what we are able to do in PRC Squared is do this combination of performance and dialogue that we don't do when we have a 500-seat house. So the show that we just opened with.
I know that show.
Oh, my God.
Are we talking about Temple?
So proud to have opened with Kane Smigo's Temples of Lung and Air.
Yes, tell us.
And the premiere of that. And what was amazing was we were able to follow his incredible piece, which is a spoken word hip hop odyssey.
It was brilliant.
By featuring what we call Pass the Mic, which was a lot of other spoken word artists and poets from the Triangle working today, from younger generations and older as well. And I loved that was part of what we could do there.
Right. Right there on the stage, right there after the show. Are you grabbing your hot dog? Is that what's happening? Are you grabbing a hot dog?
I am looking for my hot dog. Oh, there it is. There. Oh,
yes.
I see where I can get my hot dog.
Yes, you spotted a stand.
I spotted a stand, and I'm literally now I'm on 42nd and 9th Avenue.
42nd and 9th. We could use Google Earth and probably find you there.
Heading to Playwrights Horizons.
Okay.
And
so we have you for about 5 more minutes. Do we have 5 more minutes? Now, you eat that hot dog while talking if you need to, okay?
Okay, I will. Absolutely.
Now, Kane Smigo, he was absolutely... Smigo, am I pronouncing his last name correctly? Smigo. He was absolutely brilliant. I know my boss, Daniel Long, had the opportunity to see the show as well and just raved about it, particularly the discourse after the show, seeing, like you said, local spoken word artists share their own personal messages, the very vulnerable moments, and then of course after the show we got to enjoy you standing on a table and us all toasting champagne. Isn't that what you do at the end?
That is correct, which is very different from the hi. Could I possibly get a hot dog with mustard and sauerkraut, please? Oh, it's a real live interview. There we go.
No ketchup on the hot dog.
No, I'm a mustard and sauerkraut girl.
Mustard and sauerkraut, yes. No relish.
But yeah, and Kane is another UNC grad. I mean, it's so exciting when that can happen. And he grew up in the Triangle. So whenever we can highlight the incredibly wonderful, rich local talent, it's really amazing.
It's really
even
amazing.
Though he now lives in
LA,
California.
I hear. One day we'll get him on the show. One day we'll have him. Well, I know Playmakers also just had their inaugural open house. Was that your idea?
Yes. Yeah, it was. You know what? I think it was someone on the marketing team's idea.
Very nice.
Actually.
Food
We've
trucks,
been talking
fun.
about it for a while.
Yeah. You had food trucks, you had fun, and I understand there was even a personal tour of the trap room. What in the world is a trap room? Is it a place? Sounds a little scary, the trap room. Tell us about the open house, how it went, and how people can keep up with all that Playmakers has going on.
Well, you know what was amazing about the open house was
Talk to us.
There are subscribers who have been coming for all 40 years that the theater has been around. Thank you so much. I've got my hot dog.
Yay!
But
Take that bite.
They've been coming for 40 years, but a lot of them said, we've never seen the building this way.
Wow.
We've never gotten a tour of the building to see that trap room, to get access to so many of the incredible artists and artisans who you don't see on stage, who make the work possible.
Who make it possible, right.
So that was really cool. And I think, again, for me, a huge sort of mission while I am serving Playmakers is to try to make the doors, so to speak, more porous, to really invite more community in and for us to go reach more community. The very, very first show of my first program season was called Draw the Circle. And that has become sort of a motto for me. I was like, how is every piece we're doing drawing the circle wider?
And what kind of circle are you referring to? Like a circle where we're...
the circle of artists, the circle of audience, the circle of students, the circle of sponsors and patrons and, donors, all of that. Like, how do we keep widening and making it just a more inclusive in every way circle? And I'm, learning every day more and more that the more inclusive the circle, the better the art.
I can feel that, Viv. I can feel that since you've been there. I can feel, yes, a sense of community and intimacy. I tell you, have you had a bite of your hot dog yet? I want you to have a chance.
I'm taking a bite right now.
Take a bite right now. I want you to know what we're about to do here. We're going to end on a little fun note. Are you with me?
Okay. Yep,
okay.
I'm with you.
I'm doing what we're doing for the fans who love you and your new fans who are getting to know you and Playmakers. Shooting star questions. I'm going to shoot some questions at you at rapid speed.
Otherwise, I talk to you. Hang on. I'm just running into people I love.
Oh, good. Give them love. Give them my love, too.
Hi.
Okay. Tell us, rapid speed, as fast as you can, your favorite place in the whole wide world.
My favorite place in the whole wide world?
Anywhere in the universe.
Oh, my God. I would have to say the Lincoln Center Fountain.
Ooh, the Lincoln Center Fountain. Very nice. What's a book you're reading right now, if anyone at all?
I'm reading Galileo's Daughter.
Your favorite Netflix or Amazon Binge show?
Oh, my God. Well, Handmaid's Tale.
You can just watch it over and over.
No, God, no. You can't watch that over and over.
Oh, you
it's
can't?
painful. It's painful.
Episode after episode?
But also, one of my very best friends is on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, you're kidding.
So
I love
watch
that show. I love that show. Is that right?
Well,
your favorite food, besides, I guess, a New York hot dog? Or is it the New York hot dog?
It's pretty high up there. I want to be consistent. So I'm going to go with that.
The New York hot dog.
But I also... and I love peanut butter. I do also like, oysters, just so that hot dog and peanut butter don't
go hand in hand. How about a favorite quote?
A favorite quote? It's a George Bernard Shaw quote that I'm not going to get right, but it basically says that I want to be all used up when I die.
Oh.
I want to have burned brightly and be able to hand the torch over to future generations.
Oh. And like a star, stars burn brightly. And STARguest, Vivienne Benesch, you have burnt the star so bright. We are so grateful. We are so grateful. Thank you so much for taking us in this moment, your universe, while you walk down Times Square. I love you. We love you. We'll blow kisses.
So much. Thank you, Gloria.
Did you tell us how do we stay in touch with Playmakers? Just go to playmakers.org.
Playmakersrep.org.
Playmakersrep.org. Okay.
Yes.
We love you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Hope to see you at the theater all season long.
Can't wait.
Ticket to the Stars presents. That's TTTSP, Tuesdays at 3 on littleraleigh.radio.org.
A Stargaze broadcast. A Stargaze broadcast. A Stargaze broadcast.
This is Jacob Downey, one of the co-founders of Little Raleigh Radio. We are elated to count Ticket to the Stars Presents and our lineup of programming, helping you hear where you are, through celebrating inspiring artists in your community and beyond with great conversation. If you're in the Raleigh area and you would like to join us and Ticket to the Stars Presents in amplifying great voices, email listen@littleraleigh.radio.org.